Hey guys, it's BendyPenguin64, and it's been a while since I last made a YouTube video. I think it's been about a week or so, but I do have an excuse. For those of you that don't know, I've been distracted for the past few weeks or so because I'm actually working on a game right now, and I want to say right now it's nothing special, it's just a little for fun project, but I thought it might be fun to actually put out the current build for people to actually see. Just in case anyone was interested in playtesting it, because that's something that I would actually appreciate, people playtesting it on their own computers just to see if it worked properly, because so far I've only tested it on one machine and that's not how you test a game. But anyway, I thought I would just give you a sort of tutorial on how to actually download it. It's hosted on GitHub, which is quite unusual for me because I think GitHub is one of the messiest, most confusing web services ever. But to be fair, people say that it's good when you get used to it. So anyway, future me will include a link in the description of this video which will take you to this web page. This is where you download it. So basically, you want to go to this button down here in the bottom right corner. You want to click download zip. So you download that, and then it's going to start downloading. So then you just open the folder once it's been downloaded. Okay, so now it's officially been downloaded. So what you want to do now is open the zip file in the location where you downloaded it. You want to copy this folder, then just go to a different folder. I'm just going to put this here, and you want to paste those contents. So there it is. Now you can open it, and sure enough, there's the game. And I want to give a couple of warnings before I actually show you guys how the game's turned out. First of all, your computer might give you a warning about opening the game. Like, this is the file that you want to open, this application. But your computer might give you a warning saying, hey, you downloaded this file from the internet and you can find dangerous stuff there. So, are you sure you want to open it? But it's okay. This should be fine, everything's safe. Feel free to run antivirus scans on it if you want to, but everything should be okay. And next we have the content folder. And this is a quick warning I want to give. Right now, the current game build requires all of these files, like all of these things, in order to actually run. And I'm hoping that when the game is finished, I'll be able to package all of the textures and sounds into the code itself if I can, rather than having it rely on outside files. But in its current state, it needs all of these files in order to work properly. So if you delete or rename any of these files or anything, then don't be surprised if the game doesn't open. So yeah, all in all, just best to stay out of the content folder. So anyway, now we get into the big show. You want to open this application, and of course it gives me a little warning because I downloaded this from the internet. But that's okay, just let that open. And just give it a second and everything should work out properly. Okay, hang on, it's taking its sweet time, just give it a second. Oh, of course. No, it's okay. Avast Antivirus thought that something was up. No, it's okay. Yeah, it's probably going to do that. But anyway, that should be okay. There it is, now it's working, and now I should just resize that. There it is. Okay, now everything's working, and I just want to talk about the different additions that have been added since I last showed you guys this. The most noticeable difference, if my recording software actually registers this, is that now it has music in it. This is actually courtesy of a good friend of mine. So yeah, hopefully future me can also include a link to his YouTube channel in the description because he's awesome. So yeah, thank you very much for the music. This is currently the only song in the entire game though, so yeah, don't expect too much musical variation right now. Anyway, just want to walk through the different sort of main additions to the main menu. This is where most of the new stuff is. We have a settings menu, which actually doesn't do anything right now. I'm hoping to add the aesthetic stuff when I've finished the main game, so stuff like character animations and like death animations and settings. So yeah, sooner or later, near the game's completion, I will edit the settings menu so that you can change the window size. But right now, it doesn't do anything, so you just want to press escape to leave there. Next we have achievements, and I hope that you guys can actually read that. Sorry, it's grey on blue, which is kind of weird. But yeah, these are just some tasters for now, because these achievements aren't unlockable. These are just sort of like names right now. So you can do whatever you want in the game, you can't unlock these. So those will be unlockable sometime in the future, but for now you can just look at the titles and hopefully have a laugh, because I put a lot of thought into those names. This is something else, soundtrack. One thing that kind of annoys me about a lot of games, and I think that text is slightly off center actually. Anyway, one thing that annoys me about games is when you get a game with a really good soundtrack so that you want to like listen to it again, but you go to YouTube and you have to figure out the name of the song and just search through it all until you find it, which is just inconvenient. So I've actually included a soundtrack option in the main menu. You just click space and it will play the only song that is currently available, which I think is also the name of a Tom Jones song. So hopefully no one gets upset about that. And the final new option, which is probably going to trigger some red flags with people, downloadable content. I want to say this now, there will be no DLC in the final game, because I know that not everyone appreciates that. So no, this is just a joke. There will be like an achievement related to it. If you actually go to the achievements page, like there's an achievement for buying DLC, but no, this is just for a joke. It'll make more sense when the game is finished, but yeah, either way, right now it doesn't do anything, so yeah, that's nothing. Anyway, so that's that, and then we get into the proper stuff. Now we get into the actual gameplay. I want to say now, most of the main levels are identical to the way they were before. Altitude has been changed slightly, but yeah, everything is by and large mostly the same. But anyway, we now have twice as many levels as we did before. So World 1 is mostly the same, but now we also have a cave level with new gameplay mechanics. So as you can see, a new background, and yeah, we have some interesting stuff right here. So I'm just going to play a few levels to sort of show you guys what's up. So anyway, and I think there's actually a little delay when you actually load the game, like in terms of drawing, but anyway, basically these are stalactites. You still collect everything as you normally would, but then when you get too close to the center, it drops on you, and it kills you immediately. But with that said, only the bottom side of the stalactites actually kills you, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about that. Anyway, this level's a bit dodgy. Hopefully everything works out properly. Yeah, there it is. You can just run through everything really easily. Yeah, it took a lot of tweaking to get that so that they would just barely scrape across your head. That level's not too challenging. It's just there to be funny, just to look epic. And then we get into the levels with lava. This is actually going to play a significant part in... Oh, damn it, fell in. This is actually necessary for an interesting gameplay mechanic regarding stalactites, which you'll see in level 4, or level 20 rather. But yeah, right now, not too tricky, but you do have to get really close to the edge of the blocks in order to make those jumps, which is a bit finicky. And speaking of jumping, I do want to say now, the jumping controls are still a bit stiff. That's something that will hopefully be fixed in the future. So yeah, right now the controls are a bit stiff. You'll probably notice that if you playtest this game, like if you download it. But yeah, I will say now, all of the levels are still completely beatable. You can still very easily finish all of the levels, even with the stiff controls. I've done it multiple times before, but yeah, the controls are a bit iffy, so just let me know what you think about that if you want to. And also, one other thing that I want to show you guys, hopefully that registers on my recording software. When you pause the game, it will actually turn down the volume of the music. Like right now, I can barely hear it because it's like the volume is at 0.1 right now. So yeah, because I know that sometimes it's a lot more convenient if you can actually pause the music, like while you're paused. I don't know, but anyway, so that's that. And then we get another level. This is building bridges, which incorporates that new gameplay mechanic I talked about. You just want to tease these stalactites and they fall into the lava. So you just want to get... Okay, I screwed that up. There it is. You just want to get close enough so that they trigger and then dodge back out. There it is. There it is. Yeah, this level's not too tricky, but some of the later levels involving this gameplay mechanic, I don't think there's too many of them, but they do get quite tricky. And I want to say right now, levels 29 onwards, I believe, that's where the game actually starts getting really tricky. I have actually tried to incorporate a smooth difficulty curve so that it doesn't get too hard too quickly. But yeah, I will say right now, let me just skip to these. Yeah, these 3 levels right here, this is where it gets tricky, especially with the weird controls. But you can still beat them very easily. I've done it multiple times. And something else that I'll show you guys, I won't actually play it, but there is also a third world now. This is a graveyard, which features the worst drawn tree you will ever see in your life, and a really awkward looking ghost. And oh, and by the way, just so you know, this actual level promo right here, it shows a cave background rather than a graveyard background. That's actually not a glitch. I just lazily copied one of the textures, like just for the sake of it, I don't know. But yeah, don't worry, that's not a glitch. That's supposed to be like that. So anyway, I'm not going to show you guys too many more new levels.